Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm Ambition.
And I'm Twione.
And so today we're going to be talking about how to resolve conflict in arguments with others. So we're going to be giving you tips that has helped us with resolving conflict because we're the same sign. So we'd be acting the same and fighting with each other. So we're going to be giving you tips that works for our relationship. But again, this kind of works for any type of relationship, friendship, family, co-workers, whatever. So let's get into that.
Alright, so the first thing you need to do in any situation is calm down, and both of you need to analyze the situation. And what I mean when I say that is when you're arguing, if you're at your peak, if you're at your tipping point and you're at your angriest, you're just looking to hurt the other person. You're gonna be you're gonna be willing to say anything to really try to get at that person to make them hurt as much as you're hurt. So you really both want to be calm and in a thinking mood.
Right, and so don't yell or scream at that time. Like as soon as, like say we're at a restaurant or something and something pops off, don't yell and do all that at that moment. Like, wait until you are at an appropriate place and time to do so. So i.e. being at home. I feel like waiting until you go home is like the best time to kind of hash things out.
And so once you both get into that space where you're both calm, you didn't address it in the wrong place, but you feel like now is a perfect timing. You both must be ready to talk to one another and listen to one another.
Both.
It's very important. If one person's ready to talk but the other person isn't, or one person's really ready to listen and the other person isn't ready to talk, you're not going to really get anywhere. You have to both be on the same page. Mm-hmm. And you'll hear us say that a lot throughout any of our videos.
Right, so that means no nagging and no pushing the other person to talk or to listen, because it's not gonna work. So you might as well just wait until both parties are ready to do so. Also, I think, I don't want to say this is obvious, but no cussing and no name calling or like low blows or anything during arguments, because it just doesn't help. It kind of makes the arguments worse. It makes it linger more. Nothing gets resolved. Like it's pointless. So I think like just don't do it. I know it happens. It happens. I mean, if it does happen, like regret it and like apologize for it, but just like try to, like we said the first thing, be calm. So if you're calm enough, that probably won't even happen. So the next tip is something that is very dear to us. We didn't create this. We will put the book that we kind of found this rule in the description bar, but it's the 411 rule, and this is also something that we tell our clients to do. Again, if you want to know all about that, look back at our intro video about clients and all that. But we implement the 411 rule, which means that if I call a 411 to you, Twan, you cannot talk, right? I have to literally say all that I'm feeling. I could vent, I could say anything, and he cannot talk. If he does talk, then he owes me something. Like, so if you interrupt while I'm talking, has a rebuttal or has like any type of comment, then he has to buy me lunch or buy me a new bag or whatever I kind of want. It doesn't have to be materialistic things or anything like that. You could kind of set your own rule, but the point is to implement that so the person doesn't interrupt you or they owe you something. You know what I mean? So it kind of like gives that person the ultimate floor to just speak and be heard.
With the 411, I think it just adds another dynamic where it forces you to listen. It forces you to be there for your spouse, but it also lets your spouse or your friend or whoever you have that relationship with, it lets them know that you're there. And sometimes the most important thing for a person is just knowing that someone is there.
Another thing that we've implemented into our relationship is the point system. So again, with the situation of us being mad, imagine if we resolved the situation, right? We talked it out. We did all the other points that we spoke about before. Then it happens again. You get me mad again at a restaurant. Well, we have a point system, and it's in our phone. We share a note, and I will give you a point or two. You could put how many points you want for certain things. So the point system is again something that you have to do for me in return.
It also helps fix bad habits.
Right.
I guess I don't have any good habits. If you watch the last video, you'll know.
But
I'm still holding on to that.
Okay.
But yes, it helps. One, get rid of a lot of bad habits that maybe your spouse does not like. But also it helps hold you accountable to reverse some of those bad habits. So if you know Ambition and I, you know that I really hate when she does this throat thing. And so we have a point system for when she clears her throat a certain way. It's really weird, but it's just like
ridiculous. But it's something he hates.
And she hates when I smack. So if I'm smacking on my food, that's a point for me.
Oh, I should be giving you points then. I've been forgetting.
You have about 30 points past the week. So.
And another thing is that the points have a deadline. So you can't put a point and then let it linger for the rest of the year. You have 2 months to then do what that person wants you to do because you got that point. So again, accountability is really important in terms of reversing that bad habit.
And use that point for anything.
Right.
I mean anything.
Toilet seat up, point. Anyway.
So the next tip would be don't let anything linger more than 24 hours and don't go to bed mad. Now, we really try to abide by the don't go to bed mad, but if you feel like you're just not in the right place when you're going to bed, if it happens right before bed, then clearly you're both not going to be in the right space. So we kind of extend it a little bit further. At least don't let it go past 24 hours. You don't want it to start lingering. I always think of it kind of like if your house had an infestation with bugs or roaches or something. I know it's nasty. Don't want to think about it. Ill, I know. But if that were to happen, you'd want to get rid of it as quickly as possible, right? You wouldn't want it to last longer than 24 hours in your household. So you don't want an argument, which is the exact same thing as those bugs, to linger more than 24 hours in your household. Get it out of there. Get that negative energy out of there, that bad energy, and bring back the love and the positive energy.
So next tip is do not, and I repeat, I'm like, this one gets on my nerves.
She repeats.
Do not tell friends
Facts.
or family
Facts.
Things about the argument, especially when you're mad.
Or strangers or coworkers or really anybody.
Yeah, or anyone, about what's happening with that other person. Again, not, especially when you're mad, because then that person could hold a grudge while you forgave them the next day, and then the relationship gets weird with everyone. Like, do not do that. It's okay to vent to like your mom or whatever, but keep it respectful with that person that you had that argument with. You know what I mean? Like, don't tell everything. So the next tip is know your apology language. So if you saw our other video, which is
love language,
basically, and how you define love, we talked about the 5 love languages. So the same quiz that you might have seen in that video is kind of the same platform for the apology quiz that we also took. So knowing your apology language kind of helps you know how you like to be given an apology to. And I think that was like a new quiz that we just found out and we just took. And again, that'll be down in the description bar. So go ahead and take that quiz so you know how you expect someone to apologize to you and how you receive it.
There's nothing more important than really knowing the language that someone speaks. If I'm speaking Spanish and she's speaking Cantonese, we're getting nowhere. So it is very important to know not only how she wants to receive love, but also once I make a mistake, because we're all human, we're going to make mistakes, to how to own up to that and how to apologize the correct way.
Right, so we're going to share what our apology languages were, and then like I said, the quiz will be down in the description bar. You guys can also take that as well. So my top 2 was actually accept responsibility and genuinely repent. So the first one, accept responsibility, I kind of like the way that they said this in the little caption that it gave. It says, if the apology neglects accepting responsibility for their actions, many partners will not feel as though their apology was meaningful and sincere. So if it doesn't, like if you don't admit that you're wrong or know why you're apologizing, I don't want the apology. Send it back. I don't want it. So like that's like why this is my top 1. My second one is genuinely repent. And it says, some mates will doubt the sincerity of an apology if it's not accompanied by their partner's desire to modify the behavior to avoid the situation in the future. So yes, you can apologize to me, but what are you going to do next time to avoid that from happening?
Mine is expressing regret, and I thought that was actually like perfect. It's just wanting the person to basically say, I'm sorry. And it just wants you to show that you're regretful and that you understand that you did something wrong. That's all it is. The next one was accepting responsibility. So people can't just be like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Eventually you gotta, own up to it, have some responsibility, some accountability for the actions that you take. The next tip, don't hold grudges. I think that one of the main things for any relationship is holding a grudge, holding it over, your spouse or your friends or your family's head is just, it's not gonna allow you to grow. You can't grow if you're holding them back and consistently talking about the past. Doesn't make any sense. You can't take a step forward if you're looking backwards all the time because you're gonna trip. So don't hold grudges. Let it go. Let the stress off your chest, off your heart. I think knowing, you know, the correct way to apologize will help your spouse kind of move on from that grudge, whether it's accepting responsibility or just coming to you and apologizing the correct way, having an opportunity to talk about the situation and removing it.
And forgive. Like, truly forgive. Don't just forgive for the sake of forgiving, but actually truly forgive, like, from the bottom of your heart. And then, like you said, once you forgive, don't bring it back up and don't hold over the head. Because then if you already forgave them, then why are you bringing it back up?
Can I just say something real quick? Yo, you glowing.
Thank you.
Hey.
All right, and so the last tip that we have for you guys is do not go on social media and vent when you are mad with whoever you're mad at, or just in general, because it's actually not even necessary. You're going to regret it later, and what's done in private shouldn't be posted publicly.
Exactly.
It's unnecessary. And just don't do it. This era loves social media. They love going live and subliminals. Just don't do it.
It's so annoying.
Yep, so that's all the tips we have for you guys. I really hope that this helped you, because if it wasn't for these tips, like, we actually do all of these things. We try to, at least. We're human.
Facts.
But they have really helped us, and we've been together for so long, and I really hope that this helps you, and I hope you take something away from this video today. We will issue challenges every video. So this week's challenge is to take your apology quiz down in the description bar. Know what your language is for apology, and respect it for the future. Like, when someone wants to give you an apology that doesn't fit with your language, correct them and let them know, no, I don't accept that, sorry. I don't accept that, sorry, because And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and follow us on our Instagram, manifesting_true love. And so, again, I'm Ambition.
I'm Twione. Keep loving yourself.
And loving others. Bye, guys.